Hello and welcome to your May 2018 Aries Taurus new moon. This is occurring on Tuesday, May 15th, right after the Sunday we celebrate Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all, birth mothers, surrogate, and adoptive mothers. This is a day that is a beautiful celebration of life through the mother energy, that nurturing, compassionate, loving energy. And for those of us who have not necessarily experienced that in a consistent and loving way, this day can be extremely difficult. In fact, it can be even more difficult than the holidays around November and December. And so I want to remind everyone that Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck and readings are specifically designed for individuals who are experiencing mama drama trauma. These new full moon, quarterly, and lunar New Year readings are specifically to assist us in remaining vigilant and understanding our divinity, that we do in fact have access to the mother of all mothers within us, that yin energy within us that we directly connect to with the lunar cycle. So you may not have MDT, but your spouse may have it, your in-laws, adoptive children, families that you've been adopted into, close friends. It affects us all, and it does spill over into all aspects of our lives. Co-workers, managers, people who have issues that we can really boil them down to telltale signs of MDT. I'll put the link below to the telltale signs of MDT that are posted on the Mama Drama Trauma YouTube channel. If you do have mama drama trauma, then you are experiencing some form of emotional or physical abandonment or abuse on a consistent basis as a result of your birth mother, adoptive or surrogate mother's inability, unavailability, or unreadiness, unwillingness to heal her own mama drama trauma. It is a vicious family cycle. So Great Mother has a special Mother's Day message for you. I will also post that link at the bottom in the links below. When this deck was channeled to me, Great Mother was very clear about wanting to connect with her children, most estranged and alienated from her due to our birth mother experience. Not about victimization, shame, or guilt. This is about aligning ourselves with our true identity as children of the Great Mother, Father, God. Because, of course, we cannot heal mama drama trauma on our own. We need to surrender to a higher power that is able to heal a wound of void as deep as that. And so the vigilance and remembering our divinity as being dearly loved children of the Great Mother, Father, God, who are never judged, condemned, or left alone, is a universal identity. But again, as Great Mother has shared with me, an identity that her children, most alienated from her love, need to know. And with that, from the mother of all mothers, now for the new moon in Aries Taurus. Welcome, Leo, Virgo, moon sign people. The new moon in Taurus is joined by Mercury, Uranus, and it is making for ninth house energy from your first lunar house for the general reading. Now, your actual moon sign may be in your third, fourth, fifth, etc. house, but for the collective celestial consciousness coalescing around our purposes and our aims, since that this ninth house energy for you is really bringing about a greater understanding of really who you are and what your values are. Uranus, like I said, is in Taurus for the first time in decades. It is just leaving Aries, and so this is a major transit conjunct this Aries Taurus moon, in other words. And so it's a pretty exciting time for you to receive clarity about things that you haven't quite known what to feel about and how to see them and where you want to go. You're going to have some sudden urges to really restore values that you have left in the past and to initiate new principles, new things that make your life worthwhile. Virgo moon sign people, of course, as you approach this new moon, you are definitely acknowledging some form of abandonment and or abuse. You are acknowledging that you are in an environment, you're amongst people, or you're with someone, or just a general situation, a general malaise that is really making you realize that it's time to take another approach. Go about what you're doing differently, how you're relating to someone differently, because you want to hold on to that higher knowing about what your values are, what is best for you, what you know to be the truth for you. Your transformative opportunity is showing up as Sekhmet. And this is the energy of rage. Rage is suppressed anger. So there is a definite frustration that you're feeling at this particular time as it relates to someone, something, a situation, again, that is making you have to choose between your values, what is most important to you, and what they are offering in the form of security. This is a root chakra waxing gibbous moon card, and so they are offering you some form of security, some form of safety. This again could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be daddy drama trauma, it could be your husband. Okay, again, we are interconnected with this planetary disorder of mama drama trauma, and so you are approaching this new moon realizing that it is time for you to acknowledge that you or someone around you is experiencing this disorder, and it is affecting your relationship or your environment, if not yourself. What Great Mother does not want you to overlook is that it's time for you to free yourself from this situation. It's time for you to, in fact, go back home to that higher self that does know what your authentic values are, your authentic principles are, what you are truly about. Mars is in your 6th house of Aquarius, and so you are relating to people in a more balanced way. You are trying to find equilibrium if you were not, and your health is reflecting this. There are issues surrounding a need to restore your health related to maybe your thyroid gland, your voice, vocal cords. It could even be with regard to your throat. Issues that kind of coalesce around the throat area for Taurus in the Western, and then of course Aries in the Sidereal. We're talking about the gut chakra, and so that has to do, of course, with indigestion and processing. So there may be some difficulty at this time processing all of this. You know, it's very difficult to come to this awareness and to come to this acceptance. But again, Mother's Day brings all of these issues up within us. And being typically highly sensitive, empathic, and intuitive, what happens when we are working with the cosmic energy, looking at our divinity from these houses and from these signs, and focusing on the lunar aspect, we really zero in on this maternal energy. And at the center of your reading, Leo Virgo moon people, is self-inquiry. And so when those triggers come up, and the triggers always have to do with feeling like you're causing this feeling of emotional abandonment or abuse, that you need to cure it because you're responsible. You need to take care of your mother because, she's in a bad mood, or you need to take care of your daughter because, she is starting to show signs of mama drama trauma. You need to take care of that spouse, or whatever the situation is. You need to cure yourself or control the situation. Those are 3 C's, right? And control, cure, cause. We do not control, cure, or cause mama drama trauma, Virgo moon sign people. And so anything that makes you feel that way, Great Mother's coming through in the center card of your reading and saying, have the discipline to hold that trigger up and assess, what is it? What is triggering me in this moment? What is making me feel the abandonment or abuse right now? What's going on? Because I need to ask myself, am I the cause of this blow up? Am I feeling bad and I need to acknowledge that I'm trying to cure this situation when we can only cure ourselves through the guidance and love and assistance of Great Mother? What am I trying to do here? What's happening? Am I trying to control the situation? And so she wants you to kind of methodically go through, as you can, as a Virgo moon, what you know about what may be some self-defeating stubbornness that you have around this issue of mama drama trauma. It's not about, again, blame, shame, or any of that. It's about healing this condition, which is the root cause of all that ails society. And Sigmund Freud touched on this, with the founding of psychology as we know it. And it was not received because it's a taboo subject. It's a taboo subject that, because of the sanctity of motherhood associated with that Great Mother energy, it is extremely divine and spiritual, that we do not speak against it. And here we do not speak against it either. But what we do is acknowledge it. We acknowledge when we are experiencing it, and we allow ourselves the emotional space to intuitively download, Virgo, more than likely you are a Leo sidereal. So in your intuitive mind, body, mind, you feel Great Mother as a playful energy. When she comes through and she speaks to you, when she is breathing that life of emancipation, free yourself of this, and you feel like, okay, I'm ready to do it now. It's a very light energy. It's a very, even sometimes paternalistic energy that will take care of you and your physical needs and your concerns that may be with these root chakra coming up. The reason why this acknowledgement is so difficult at this time, but you're doing it anyway. That's how you are approaching this new moon. Now, this is the new moon where we plan and we plot for the cycle. So implanting your seed of acknowledgement, seeing that Great Mother does not want you to overlook that this is actually going to cause you, it's going to enable you to free yourself up from the rage that you have. Rage must be expressed, or it will simmer and smolder and cause us to be sick. And so that's why I mentioned those particular ailments, especially for you, Virgo moon, being the sign of the 6th house where our health is. Really go through those triggers and decipher when you are trying to control, cure, or take responsibility for being the cause of mama drama trauma, situation by situation. And you'll begin to see how pervasive it is in your life. And don't become overwhelmed by it, but make rage your ally. This is a waxing gibbous moon card. So that means editing, revising, reevaluating. And so as you're doing this methodical, looking at how this is impacting every aspect of your life, and it's making you angry, and it's really not what you thought making you angry. It's really not that, every time you come to work and the coworker always does this or that. It really is that you do feel that you are not being heard. You are not being considered. And that goes back to the mama drama trauma. And as you work through that and you work through that and you work through that, you're going to see that things will start coming together for you. You won't be overwhelmed. What you're going to be, however, is much, much more insightful and have a greater awareness about how things are coming together for you. See, what happens when we open up to the energies of Great Mother, then we are able to receive more of the love. This is the scene in The Wizard of Oz when Dorothy is looking at Glinda descend from the sky when hope against hope, she's trying to return back to Kansas and has descended from Oz's balloon. They can't do it, okay? They can't get her home. And this is her peering up at Glinda descending down. That inner eye, seeing Great Mother and feeling her operate in your life, allowing her to take you through the paces, your guides, your angels, your ancestors, of this methodical process that you will initiate through your own conscious mind and be assisted to emancipate yourself. Remember, when we work with our angels, our guides, and our ancestors, it's a 50-50 deal. We do our part, and then they take 2 more steps with us. And then we do our little part, and they take 2 more steps. And then we get tired, And then they rest with us. And then, the different phases of the moon, different things happen. So if you're watching this during the balsamic moon period, then you're probably getting some downloads. And so by the full moon period, you'll notice, Virgo moon people, things are going to start kind of coming together for you as you plant those seeds to do a little bit more of an intuitive inner effort of paying attention to your triggers. You're going to be dancing with the law of destiny and free will, as I said. It is your free will to do this. It does require conscious effort, but it is through that conscious effort of Great Father energy. This is a single yang, Great Mother, double yang. So that's Great Father energy, meaning action. And so acting on what your purpose is at this time during this lunar cycle is activating the law of free will and destiny. Your destiny is to acknowledge the mama drama trauma so that you can expunge the rage in a way that the energy is transformed. Uranus now is conjunct with this Taurus energy, so it's a energetic support to be able to make a change through liberation. That's what Uranus is about. It's about change through liberation. And that second house energy overall is about our values. And for you, it's 9th house energy. And so that's your higher knowing. That is that higher knowing about how to activate, how to use your free will for your highest good. Now, as you're planting these seeds and going through the cycle, Great Mother is suggesting that you release any and everything that keeps you trapped from really enjoying your personal power to do these things. There is a gut knowing that you have, and as we see in this card with Dorothy and Glinda the Good Witch, Glinda has just bestowed the slippers onto Dorothy's feet, and right there is the Wicked Witch of the West trying to take them away in the shadows. This is also a waxing gibbous moon card, and so there's a lot of revising going on for you right now, a lot of changing approaches as a result, again, of this higher knowing. You know what you really value in your life, Virgo moon people. It's
time to accept the support of this particular transit available to you to see it through. There is a surge of personal power that you're going to have through this Uranus conjunction at this particular time, and it is going to remain in your ninth house, speaking of Uranus, for 7 years. Uranus is a 7-year transit, so take advantage of it. Great Mother is really assisting you to plant seeds at this new moon where it is conjunct this sign, Taurus, which is the second house that Uranus will be in for 7 years. The planet Uranus will be in for 2 years, to really work with this Earth Father energy, this Yang energy, this conscious energy, to deal with what you are acknowledging. Rage, remember, it is suppressed anger. But as we consciously work with the anger, we not only dissipate it in our physical bodies, which causes the disease, we also make the energy of rage, which is so powerful, an ally as opposed to an enemy of ourselves. Rage becomes a personal enemy because it comes out in the most inappropriate and embarrassing times when it is not acknowledged. This new moon is hearkening to your sidereal energy, and again, check the links below. You may also be Virgo in your sidereal, so you're going to look also at the Libra video in addition to this Virgo video to see which one resonates with you. It's calling on that sidereal energy from your Leo that is saying, hey, there's an inner wisdom that you have. This ninth house energy with Mercury, Uranus, and the moon is really sharing a really important part of your life at this time with you that you are resonating with and you're wanting to express. This is a new moon heart chakra card. So heart chakra is the crossroads between the ego and the soul. It is that space in which we find that nexus between the Western and the sidereal astrology, and this is the position of what's going to facilitate your change. This is what's going to make your change happen. Now, embodying this inner wisdom is what this reading is about. Through your acknowledgement, realizing that that is what's going to free you from this rage, and methodically questioning everything that is causing your rage at this time, knowing that you have the personal power, the wherewithal, the stamina to deal with it. Leo is in your 12th house, and that's where the North Node is right now, another lunar marking. And for you, this has to do with releasing the yang energy that you have put into this situation up until now. You have put a great deal of physical, mental, and conscious energy into trying to sustain something that you intuitively are very upset about and are needing to free yourself from this situation. And so that's what the Mama Drama Trauma Support Group is all about. This is a process, awareness, and loving detachment, which is our yellow brick road in Mama Drama Trauma, is about accepting what is so that we can unconditionally love ourselves and our mothers, as opposed to having this consistent unconditional need for her to be something that she's not, for the world to be something that it is not, and for us to accept what is with love. That is a very expansive process. It's a daily process of conscious, vigilant identification and ownership of our divinity and living from that space. And we support each other in doing that because, again, we cannot heal MDT on our own. The Osiris Horus card is your outcome. It's rebirth and regeneration. You will, by the end of this lunar cycle, really, as a result of taking in what Great Mother has brought for you to plant and to plot as supportive energies. Now, this isn't telling you what to do. There are a million roads, an infinite number of roads, innumerable, I should say, to Great Mother. This is just, again, very focused on our collective celestial unconsciousness within this group and within this sign, where we can identify the energies that are supporting us. And the new moon wishes I will be posting based on this reading are suggestions for you to post during the new moon on the 15th, so that you can really keep account of really how all this is coming about, so that by the full moon reading we can look at this rebirth and regeneration. The Osiris Horse card is when Dorothy douses the witch with the bucket of water. This is a throat chakra card. The outcome is showing me that you will also heal or begin an earnest healing process of whatever throat issues you have. It's going to also be a time where there's going to be an unexpected death or rebirth related to this situation. Now, because it's throat chakra, that's telling me that it's your health, what we've already talked about as it relates to this rage and freeing yourself up from that. But it's also about that stubbornness, okay? Letting go of that, holding on to prior conscious efforts to maintain the status quo. Also, letting go of a tendency perhaps not to state what your needs are and what your wants are. And a death of having attachments to results being exactly the way you envision them. In the beginning of acknowledging Mama Drama Trauma, we all have, our fantasies that is the hardest thing for us to let go of what we want our mother to be and what we think the world should be. We still have that childish need, because that child needs to be loved. And so we define how that is. And so it's difficult for us to release that to Great Mother. And so maybe that's what your release is going to be about, releasing that to Great Mother. So I really do hope that this reading has been useful for you. Again, check out the links below where you will find the video about your telltale signs of Mama Drama Trauma. You will find a link to the Mother's Day message from Great Mother, as well as to your suggested new moon wishes. Thank you so much for tuning in, liking, and sharing. But above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
For more information about Mama Drama Trauma, visit mamadramatrauma.info.